Green flag from the marshal at the rear. Stand by. DTM is back in the UK. We are ready to go racing when 5 lights go out. All heck will break loose as the cars head towards Paddock Hill Bend. Bruno Spengler already getting past Joel Eriksson. Lucas Auer has had a blistering start. So too has Rene Rast. He braves it around the outside of Paddock Hill Bend. Daniel Juncadella had a torrid time getting away. And the big beneficiary is Lucas Auer. Jamie Green already trying to fight up some places as well. Rene Rast has put himself into P2. Timo Glock and Gary Paffett not for the first time this season side by side, and Timo Glock wins that little battle. So for the first time of asking, they make their way out of the Graham Hill Bend along the Cooper Straight, and then the big left-hander as side by side Philipp Eng and Augusto Farfus, who are fighting over that place there as Danny Juncadella continues to drop back. Under the bridge then at Hawthorne Hill come these DTM cars. And still Augusto Farfus on the outside of Philipp Eng, and he manages to put himself ahead of the number 25 car. Philipp Eng trying very, very hard to get the better of the Brazilian driver Augusto Farfus. And all of a sudden the lap, it just eats away, and they go through the Stirling's Bend and head towards the Clearways section of the Brands Hatch circuit here. And in virtually no time at all, the first lap will have been completed. So from a strategic point of view, Timo Glock has come in. There was another car came in, Brian. I think it was Rene Rast. Yes, it is. Also coming in, Robin Freins, Pascal Wehrlein. So a number of cars coming in to play this early card strategy.
Yeah, we saw it working in the previous round, and it's so good to see them coming in early on that. Rene Rast was the first, but that start from Lucas Auer, wasn't that just a blistering start? He absolutely took off.
Well, of course, it's banked, isn't it? The start-finish straight as you head into Paddock Hill Bend. He just got the momentum, didn't he? Here comes Rene Rast, here comes Timo Glock then. The mandatory pit stops then are done and dusted very early on in this race, and is this going to play into their favour when the race unfolds? We bear in mind we've still got 53 minutes plus 1 lap of this race to come. A lot can happen between now and then, but 4 or 5 cars, well in fact 6 cars choosing to pit early. Rene Rast, Timo Glock, Paul di Resta, Loic Duval, Robin Freins and Bruno Spengler. Loic Duval is under investigation for a potential unsafe release, and we have got a yellow flag, and that's around the Druids turn, because out, I fear, is the Gary Paffett. No, it's Loic Duval. It's the Loic Duval car that is in the barriers, and where that is situated at Druids, this could be a safety car. Loic Duval is not returning from there, so let's wait and see. At the moment we have a local yellow, but the cars are about to head down Paddock Hill Bend now, up to that particular section where Loic Duval finds his car embedded into the tyre barriers. Now, Loic Duval was one of those that pitted early on. Bear in mind, he will have come out on completely cold tyres. And also in now, this is Marco Wittmann and Nico Mullerhurst coming as well. Well, we remain yellow around turn number 2, the Druids turn, before you head downhill once again towards the Graham Hill Bend. And out comes Marco Wittmann. There is Rene Rast and Timo Glock, both of whom have already stopped, of course, in that early stoppage. Rene Rast. There's Marco Wittmann, and we're on board with Timo Glock. There you can see the Loic Duval car. To be fair, from that angle, Brian, we can see that actually maybe it's far enough away for us to not have a, but we do have a slow zone deployed now. So slow zone 3 is deployed. That means the car's mandatory reduced in speed for the recovery of that Loic Duval car. Fighting continuing here, Nico Muller and Paul di Resta and Timo Glock. So you can see the yellow SZ ticker at the top of the graphics indicating that slow zone. And that slow zone is all the way from turn 8 through turn 9, turn 1 and turn 2, as the Loic Duval car is going to be recovered. So it's going to be a non-finish for Loic Duval. He just got out there, and Robin Freins on the inside, and Loic Duval, he just braked, but the car was just not going to turn in, so it was a fairly innocuous knock into the tyre barriers, but clearly Loic Duval is not going to be returning from there. So first sad retirement, Brian.
Yeah, absolutely, and of course they're not allowed tyre warmers here, so came out on cold tyres and just probably a little bit too quick. Really interesting to see so many cars pitting on that lap one. I know Rene Rast really made that strategy work at the last round, and a lot of people adopting that this time, and just a very interesting strategy to get in, get that pit stop done and get back out again.
Yes. Now, indicative on the left-hand side of your screen is the laps of when people came in for their pit stops, and Marco Wittmann and Nico Muller coming in lap 2. So Loic Duval is out of the car. The recovery operation continues to that slow zone, and when you see the cars going through the slow zone, Brian, it is positively pedestrian.
It really is compared to what we're used to when they're at racing speed, but it's got to be done. Safety is everything here, isn't it?
That's where Lucas Auer scored in the start. We're seeing it in replay because basically Yuka just gave it a footfall. The back end of the car stepped out, whereas the launch that Lucas Auer had, and also Rene Rast, vastly superior, and they were able to put themselves in that P1 and P2 position on the exit of Paddock Hill Bend, running up towards Druid. Job done. Yeah. So Danny Yuka really losing out there. And there you can see Arno Zenzen looking on, and he was pretty happy with that from Rene Rast. And here is the slow zone in operation. It's like the Tesco car park, isn't it, Brian?
It really is. Yeah, that start, Daniel Yucadella, he just got a load of wheel spin. You saw the car just twitching sideways, way too much wheel spin, and it just gave Lucas Auer and Rene Rast a real advantage as they were able to get around him.
So the car's through the slow zone then, and you can see there is Danny Yucadella, who is behind the car of Lucas Auer, P2, because of course Rene Rast chose to pit very, very early on. The two cars are virtually welded together, and Lucas Auer then finding himself in the lead of the race. We're on board with Philippe Eng, the BMW Team RMR driver, crawling in this slow zone up towards the Druids turn. How are we getting on with the recovery operation? Well, the crane is still there and the Loic Duval car is still there, so we're going to have this slow zone for a few laps yet. They cross the sector line, and well, the cars can be brought back into life after that sector line. They go back to racing again, and Lucas Auer and Daniel Yucadella, where you can see how the gap has come down between Lucas Auer and Daniel Yucadella. Augusto Farfus finding himself P3. Philippe Eng is P4, and of course Gary Paffett is P5, the British driver who leads the Drivers' Championship. So in the sunshine at Brands Hatch, Lucas Auer, the Austrian driver, is leading this race. His career, or his season so far, unlike his career, his season this year has been winless, which is really surprising. And the slow zone has been removed now, so we can go back to complete green flag conditions all the way around the circuit and get back to racing proper. So as you can see from the left-hand side of your screen, those still to pit: Lucas Auer, Danny Yucadella, Augusto Farfus, Philippe Eng, and Gary Paffett, although Farfus comes in now, and I think Philippe Eng came in as well. So certainly Augusto Farfus, yes, and I called that correctly. Philippe Eng also in, so the two BMW drivers coming in at the same time. Also coming in is Mike Rockenfeller. So Augusto Farfus then, they go to work on that car as quickly as possible. Only two engineers to work either side of the car.